Welcome back to the Hub on Hollywood, an iHeartRadio podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
I'm the other co-host, Jamie Blanco.
Absolutely. And on this week's episode, Halloween is right around the corner, which means it is time to get into the horror movies. And we are getting into the movies made in Massachusetts, or at the very least, based in Massachusetts. Zendaya is back in Boston with Batman. We will explain. Your friendly neighborhood sober man is coming to the rescue, and there's something tingling at the Coolidge Corner Theater. But first, Jamie, we have to talk about your time in Salem and your time with the cast of Hocus Pocus for It's Just a Bunch of Halloween. That was in our last episode, so if you haven't caught the Hub on Hollywood, check out last week. Jamie explored the streets of Salem and went to this big event where the original cast members of Hocus Pocus were at. They were hosting. Jamie, it looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, James. And it wasn't just like the locals, right? There were people from Alabama, Tennessee, from Alabama, from all over the country that came to be a part of the Just a Bunch of Halloween events and this great party that they had at the Hawthorne Hotel down in downtown Salem, right by the Common. It was, as soon as you walk in, right, the lobby of the hotel is really beautifully decorated. There's a giant pumpkin in there, and there's all kinds of people dressed up in amazing costumes. Do you know Miss Argentina from Beetlejuice?
No, Miss Argentina from Beetlejuice.
From the original Beetlejuice. She's all blue. She's the woman at the window that's like, take a number.
Yes.
She's the one who greeted us as we walked into the party. Phenomenal costumes. Things I've never seen. There were Oompa Loompas, okay? There were people that were dressed like the characters from the original Hocus Pocus movie. There were people dressed as traditional Samhain characters, like animals and things from nature. There was Goat Girl walking around, some furries thrown in there for fun. Why not, right? Very nature-based. A Samhain festival is a traditional Celtic celebration that this was all based on for this time of the year. There was an upstairs area where you could take your pictures and have pictures, have the cast, sort of edited into your photos. Big dance space, a bar, amazing costumes, like I said, and of course, the cast of Hocus Pocus. Our favorite host, Bora, the witch, was there overseeing the ceremonies, and the cast having a great time, mingling amongst everyone, drinking, partying, dancing the night away. So it was definitely a great night. And something that we were happy to bring you on the Hub on Hollywood. So if you want to check out our interviews and the sights and sounds from that night, check out our last interview for that, James. So, it was great.
You mentioned the cast, of course, Jason Marsden, Vanessa Shaw, Omri Katz. Was there time to like chat with them, or were they being pulled left and right and everywhere in between? Because there were so many people wanting to talk to them. I can't imagine them. I can't imagine them being, very preoccupied, bouncing from one place of the Hawthorne Hotel to the other.
No, I feel like it was a really chill environment. It was a long party. It went until 2 a.m, so it felt like there wasn't really a rush to like bum rush them and try to talk to them. They were very comfortably mingling, and there were people, the people who were there waiting to talk to them were very respectful. While they were talking to one group of people, other people were sort of just hanging out in the vicinity and then, just try to grab them as they were walking by. So it was just a really chill, respectful, fun, lighthearted sort of thing.
No, very cool. And you went as Luffy, from One Piece.
Yeah, I went as the King of the Pirates. Also the King of the Podcasts, maybe. Jamie D. Luffy. So very excited about that. We're going to be talking a little bit about One Piece later too, but yes, that is my current obsession, and so I was definitely trying to channel the spirit of Luffy while I was there. I was trying to be brave and talk and mingle and dance, and so yay, woohoo!
No, you did a great job, and as well, you know, in addition to the Hocus Pocus event, you were, as we said, roaming the streets of Salem, getting those interviews, getting some monsters mixed up with some other ones, but that's okay. That's the fun part of it. You get to learn. That's what it's all about. And no, it was great. I love those people who go out there every single year, and they want visitors to have a great experience, to have a great time, to have a great fright. And so they go out there for hours every weekend, and, you know, whether it's Michael Myers, whether it's Frankenstein, whether it's It, the clown, they're there to, you know, bring the screams, but also the good times with them. So I think that's always a great thing about Salem.
Yes, Mike Myers, who I talked to over there, his real name's Paul. He comes down there and he does it for fun. A lot of those, some of them are busking. You know, they're doing it for money. Others are just there for the vibes. And there are no better vibes at this time of the year than Salem, Massachusetts. So you got to be with the Hub on Hollywood, because we let you know when these events are going on so that you can get your tickets next year to hang out with the cast, to go to the signings. Because it wasn't just that. There was a autograph signing, there was a burlesque show, and then there's just all kinds of parades and fairs and things going on.
Don't you mean a burlesque show?
It was a burlesque!
I got it. I'll walk my way.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No. That's awesome. No, it's a great vibe. I love it.
Exactly. And if you can't make it in person, James, there are plenty of movies out there where you can bring the vibes of Salem right into your living room.
Absolutely. And so we have this list coming from Boston.com helping people get into the Halloween spirit. And this is with some movies that were either shot in Massachusetts, in New England, or were based in Massachusetts, because sometimes, you know, the movie magic happens in Los Angeles, but they say they're here. But one movie that was filmed here in our region is, of course, speaking of Hocus Pocus, the cult classic Hocus Pocus, 1993. That's a go-to, family-friendly a movie that anybody can enjoy. Obviously, many people still do enjoy it, well within, you know, our age range, and of course, new followers, especially with Disney Plus. Hocus Pocus 2 came out last year or so, and so that's another popular one. So that's a great way to like ease yourself in, especially kids, into like the horror, the scarier, little more edgier Halloween movies.
Yeah, just a little bit of child endangerment, right? Just a skosh to get the kids into it. The Sanderson sisters, unfortunately, were not at the party, James. That would have been a whole other thing. I know. But yes, Hocus Pocus 1, Hocus Pocus 2. Also, if you want to get in the witchy spirit, into something that was filmed in the Witch City, what better than Bewitched? The show that ran from 1964 to 1972. And there's that big statue in the heart of Salem.
In Massachusetts, or like in a backlot in Los Angeles, and it's based in Salem?
Episodes were filmed in Gloucester. So I think it was a combination of like in the movie studios and then back out here.
Like outside scenes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exterior shots. No, that's a good one. And you know, it's funny. I asked my wife, like, to get into the Halloween spirit, do you see yourself watching Bewitched? Yeah, it's a great show, but it's an older show, and I don't know where it's streaming now. But I'm like, no, I'm not sure because many episodes. So, you know, there's lots to go through to get into the Hollywood Halloween spooky vibe for the season.
But it'll get you there.
One that I grew up watching, maybe a little too early at a young age, is The Crucible, starring Winona Ryder and Daniel Day-Lewis. One of my favorite acting scenes is when He's, if you read the book or watched the movie, is the scene where Daniel Day-Lewis's character is being forced to confess to witchcraft or whatnot, and he has to sign his name into this letter, this proclamation, and then he's about to do it, or else he'll be put to death. And then he goes, "No, I can't." It's like, "Sign it." He's like, "No, it is my name. This is all. You only get one in your life, and this is mine." And so he refused to sign it, and then he was put to death. But that scene, Daniel Day-Lewis. Mwah, mwah. Fantastic acting in that stuff. So that one, I always remember that scene. So iconic. And how mad I was at Winona Ryder's character, and all the other, faux witches. Again, based on a real life story here in Salem, and also in Danvers, right? Is that where most of the Salem witch trials occurred in back in the day?
Yes, it was Salem, Danvers, Beverly, like the whole area there around Salem.
Yeah. Salem was known for it, but back in the day, like the city and town lines were cut differently, and so a lot of that also happened in Danvers. So right. They need to be called out too.
Dang it! That's right. They don't get the heat. They don't get the heat, but it happened all over. Something else that brings the heat. Adam Sandler, an Adam Sandler film that was made recently, came out in 2020, Hubie Halloween. That was filmed in and around Salem. Tons of fun on that one. So many background actors got to work on that one. Lots of night shoots, and just a fun one to pop on and bring those spooky vibes. Bring those Salem vibes into the living room to enjoy.
That's crazy that it came out in 2020. That feels like it came out maybe a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago, but 2020, man, those pandemic years, a blur.
A blur, yeah.
Quite the blur.
Can I say I feel like the last 5 years, I don't even remember. How did we get here?
How did we get here?
The real horror story. That was that was the real terror
on this list. Let's go to I Married a Witch, the 1942 classic. I'll be honest, never heard of this movie before, but this stars Veronica Lake, a Salem witch killed in the trials. She uses her last of her living power to seek revenge on her killer, but when she and her father come back to life, she ends up meeting her killer's descendants and falling in love with him. Hijinks ensue, plans go awry, and it's all together a delightful time. Watch the trailer for this. It looks, like any other 1940s kind of. I won't call it cheesy because that's that era. But
campy.
I think it seems a little more lighthearted, so maybe that's a fun one for kids. One that is not fun, and I would not recommend for kids, is 2015's The Witch, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, one of her bigger breakout films as a child.
Right. So that was a horror movie also set in the times of the Salem witch trials. A witch steals a child from a Puritan family, which sets off a sequence of very spooky, sometimes esoteric events. And like you said, this is not a family film, but Anya Taylor-Joy is a joy to watch in anything that she is in. Some other honorable mentions I just wanted to, before we wrap up this list, there are so many great documentaries, too, that you can hit up, all about the histories of the Salem witch trials and everything that went on there. Wild stuff. And not too far away from which city, was it Malden? And in Vermont, Beetlejuice, that just came out. Perfect. Is just now on streaming. And a great watch, too, for the Halloween season.
Thank you for bringing Beetlejuice up, because that movie will be playing at Fenway Park. Did you hear about this, Jamie?
No.
Yeah, so the Red Sox are hosting a Halloween movie night at Fenway on October 26th, and they will be playing Beetlejuice over there at the iconic ballpark. So, if you are in Boston, if you're in the area, and you want to watch Beetlejuice for the first time, or maybe for another time, under the lights, the spotlights of the ballpark, go check out, go get your tickets. I'm sure you can find this online, redsox.com/movie night. So that's fun. That's cool.
Sweet.
I know they do a lot of movie nights for like Star Wars. They'll play Star Wars there, some other stuff, but it's nice to see a movie that's, I think it's still in theaters. Is it still in theaters? I feel like it is. Beetlejuice, but watching it on the green, near the Green Monster.
Yeah, it's still in theaters, now on streaming, and now at the Green Monster, like James said. And you have to say it like that. If you pronounce the R, they kick you out of the ballpark. The ballpark. They'll kick you out.
The ballpark.
Don't pronounce the R's. Just saying.
All right. Well, let's see. Well, let's move on to... go ahead.
I was going to say, you know who else is making their return to Boston?
Who else is making their return?
Just like this small indie actress. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Zendaya.
Zendaya who?
Zendaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zendaya. That's what I meant to say.
Zendaya, exactly. Zendaya is making her return to Boston. So she is actually filming here in Boston right now a production called The Drama, right? And bringing the drama with her, Mr. Robert Pattinson, right? Batman himself.
Yeah.
In town, shooting scenes for this. It seems like the majority of this movie, though, is being shot in LA and New York, but a few scenes are being shot here. And Zendaya has been spotted already in and about town, right?
Yeah, I think she was seen on Newbury Street. Somebody posted, a local business posted on Instagram, Zendaya admiring a hand-painted mug or ceramic of some sort. And so you see Zendaya holding it and watching it and admiring this thing. And then you see the shop owner just like watching like gleefully as Zendaya, appreciated her product. And so she says that Zendaya did not buy it, but she, just watching her admire it was just enough, was worth it. And so she is out here. The thing is, though, people, of course, love Zendaya. They love to see celebrities and take photos and whatnot. Coincidentally, Zendaya actually did an interview. I forgot with who, but she mentioned how she has trouble sometimes going out and about in public just because she knows she will be photographed. And so there are times when she was filming challengers in the Boston region that she refused or refrained from going outside and leaving her hotel because she just knew the attention would be there. And, just because somebody is very famous or looks very confident, and I'm sure she is confident in many ways, we all have our maybe insecurities or concerns. And so she opened up about being more isolated or self-isolating because, a lot of that attention can do things to you, especially can have a mental toll on yourself. So it's good that she's speaking about that. So if you do happen to see Zendaya, refrain from running up to her, from snapping pictures or tons of pictures. And so
she's a real person.
She's a real person.
Give her space.
Yeah, so give her a space because it's very nice for her to open up and talk about her struggles and things, that concern her, worry her, or bother her. But we want her to know that we welcome her to Boston, and she should feel comfortable. She should feel safe, and again, talking about those insecurities helps other people. And speaking about those who spoke about their insecurities and some of their problems was none other than her boyfriend, Tom Holland. Tom Holland, he's been very vocal about. He's been 2 years sober. Did you know this, Jamie? That I guess he had like this issue with alcohol where not necessarily he was like had a problem with it per se, but so much so where when he took a break for it, like, dry January, he said that during that month, he would wake up thinking about beer or wanting to drink, and every day he would just keep thinking about, oh man, when can I drink? When can I drink? And it was at that moment where he realized, man, I really can't stop thinking about this. I think I may have a problem. And so because of that realization, that revelation, he moved on a path of not drinking alcohol at all. And so now he's been 2 years sober. And in light of that, or because of that, I guess that's what inspired him to launch his own non-alcoholic beer, kind of saying that he wanted to create something that reflected his lifestyle and his values. And I think it's really great because, drinking alcohol, when you're out and about, especially being a celebrity, you're out at so many social functions, public events where there is alcohol. And so you may feel kind of awkward not drinking, but this non-alcoholic drinks or his own beer brand now is that option where you can still feel like you are participating, because you are in a drink and having a good time, and you don't feel isolated or alone. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Jamie?
No, I'm really proud of him. I love Tom. I love Zendaya. The two of them are they're such a great couple, and they're so supportive of each other. And I think this is just a really great personal way for Tom to sort of, not only represent his own values, but also he's kind of jumping on the bandwagon of all of these celebrities now that have their own alcohol, that have
Ryan
their own
Reynolds,
whiskey,
The
their
Rock,
own brand.
Bryan Cranston and his co-star from Breaking Bad. Forgetting his name right now, blanking. But yeah, a lot of celebrities are going the alcoholic route, but Tom is going in the little healthier, same kind of lane, but the healthier slow lane, I guess.
Yeah, James. The slow lane's not a bad place to be. Right? You need a designated driver. You need someone to get you home safely, and he has Zendaya to take care of, okay? He needs to be the man that she deserves and all that. They're both really, really good people. So I'm happy for him, happy to hear it. I wish both of them the best, but, personally and professionally. And I would just say to all the young actors out there, look, you got out there, you were the best, and all of that. You don't have to be famous forever. You can always step away and just be a private, happy person and do whatever is best for you, right? Don't worry about that pressure to be, the most popular forever. That can destroy a person. I think that we need to make it just normalize that. It's okay. It's all right. Be happy. Don't worry about all these fans that are just, sucking your soul all the time. You do you. You do you, guys. Yeah. You're beautiful. Keep it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can learn a thing or two from Tom Holland, because not only has he dropped alcohol, he doesn't, say anybody who does drink it's bad, but just for him, this is good for him. But he also cut out social media. He got rid of his Instagram, I believe, his Twitter, and all that stuff, just because he said he was paying way too much attention on that and was reading comments and it was stressing him out and causing him concern and all this other stuff. So he cut that out too. So I like somebody who's able to find things that are affecting them, and then is able to and realize it and just say, I don't need this. I want to live my life how I want to live it. So kudos to Tom Holland. I don't know how you pronounce his beer. It's called Bero or Bero, Bero. It's on sale right now, so check it out. Jamie, something else that you can check out is this, the Coolidge Corner Theater, right? It's a very famous, it's this, it's been around since 1933 or something like that. It's in Brookline on Harvard Street, and we've done a couple stories about it before. But they are bringing back a theatrical experience that hasn't been seen or felt in decades, and they're doing it with the movie The Tingler. Jamie, have you heard about The Tingler before?
I've never heard of The Tingler, but it sounds titillating.
Yeah, so The Tingler is a film. It tells the story of a scientist who discovers a parasite in human beings called the Tingler, which feeds on fear. The creature earned its name by making the spine of its host tingle when the host is frightened. It stars Vincent Price, again, 1959, I believe. The thing about this movie, however, was back in the day, they would try to find quote-unquote gimmicks to enhance the theater experience. Some movies, they literally had ghosts flying above the audience in the movie theater to incorporate with some scary scenes. Some movies, they would actually have hired actors come out of the seats or the stands or whatever and interact with the screen. So they would have these things. The Tingler, however, utilized a mechanical device that was attached to each seat below, and when the Tingler was approaching or was creating fear or feeding off people, the seats would vibrate. And so kind of like that the 4D movie experience now, this was the granddaddy. This was the original 4D experience. And so the Coolidge Corner Theater, they installed these tingler machines. So when they do air or they do screen the film, the seats literally tingle, and you feel that tingle in your spine, and that adds to the theatrical experience. And again, a gimmick back in the day, but it's fun to bring it back and have fun with it. It was so popular, so much so that they are holding an encore presentation, an encore screening this Monday on October 21st. So if you are in Boston area, I highly recommend this. Going to the Coolidge Corner Theater to watch The Tingler and getting that 50s era feeling literally in your seat while you're watching this classic film. I'm actually reaching out to the folks over at the Coolidge Corner Theater to see if I could also do my own, experience with it. And so if we do, we will be sure to bring it to the Hub on Hollywood, and I'll describe my experience. But what do you think about gimmicks, quote unquote, like this, Jamie? I know you said Twister, the 4D experience was so popular, that 1-2 combination. But what do you think about this?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, wow, this is like the 1940s 4D. Like, this is the precursor to that. What are movies other than sharing these incredible experiences and immersing you in them? And it's so cool to see the ways that people used to do things. My favorite experiences are going to like these old theaters that are like the double-decker single screen theaters that are just so massive and gigantic. But to feel like a part of the history of cinema while having a really fun time being zapped in your seat. That just sounds like a lot of fun. So I hope that
now it's not,
I know you don't actually get zapped. You just
it's not always successful though, because you may not know this, but they tried doing the similar thing with Jaws. However, when Jaws was biting on people, they had hired people in the theater to bite the arms of those in the seats. However, they were like, "Stop it! No, that didn't really happen, but that'd be hilarious if they tried. But no, or just get a bucket of water and just splash them in the face.
I'm so gullible.
That'd be awesome.
So gullible. Jesus.
You bought it?
I bought it completely.
They literally
I was
did
all
that.
in.
People would go and bite someone's arm. It was a crazy time.
I'm too tired for this.
I'm sorry,
like,
Jamie.
Really? Oh my God.
Well, I think I can think of one thing that may rejuvenate you and get you all excited, and that is to talk about One Piece, the Netflix live adaptation of the anime, of the mango comic, and also
what are you doing?
Animation. Sorry, I offended so many people right now.
You did.
I feel like I think we did a couple reviews of some episodes, but I think you watched the season. Is that right?
Yeah, so no, I'm rewatching the season for about the third time. And I'm now getting into the manga and the anime. Originally, I'm 25 years late to the party. I'm sorry, everybody. Look, I'm into like every other anime, every other, manga out there, but I never got into One Piece. There was something about the animation style, like I couldn't bring myself to start, and now I am all in. And it's not only that One Piece Netflix live action is like one of the best live action adaptations of media ever. I'm putting that out there, okay? I will die on this hill at this moment. But it's so beautiful to watch. It is a feast for the eyes. The creators of the One Piece live action, I just have to give them a standing ovation, round of applause, because every single frame of this show, James, I dare you just pause it at any random moment. Every single frame is framed so beautifully. The background, the foreground, the colors, the framing, like everything is so sumptuous. The set design, the costumes, the colorization, everything about it. Every single frame mirrors the anime. It looks like the manga, right? The comic book frames. I'm rambling a little bit, James, but I was sitting with my son watching the live action, and we actually did a compare and contrast. We're like, okay, notice this background. Notice the depth on this. Notice the extreme detail. Notice the lighting. Oh my God, the lighting. There's an Academy Award for lighting, isn't there? If there's not, there ought to be. And they would win. And they would win. Just the way that everything is lit and colorized and decorated. It's so freaking beautiful. It is a feast. It is a feast. It is a feast. So I was showing this to my son, and I'm pointing out all of the details, and I'm like, okay, now let's watch this other thing. And we went and we watched a bunch of like Zack Snyder Justice League. And I'm like, you cannot see any colors. Everything is so washed out. You know, the lighting is all computer generated CGI. You know, and I was just, you know, as an example for why I cannot watch DC Universe movies. I cannot watch like the Justice League movies and things like that. It's just, it makes my eyes sad. And One Piece makes my eyes glad. And that's not even to mention the acting and the writing and everything. I'm just so in love with it right now. And now I'm going back and I'm watching the original animes, and I'm getting into those storylines, and now it's like, it's a little bit more digestible. It's a little bit more easier for me to watch it, even though I'm not a fan of the animation style. As long as I can now picture Iñaki Godoy, right, doing these things and looking forward to the One Piece Season 2 and Season 3 into perpetuity. So very much looking forward to that. Season 2 is already is being filmed right now as we speak in South Africa. Cannot wait for Season 2 to come out next year. James, which leads me to ask you the question, what are there any movies out there that you love them, not just because they're a good movie, but because it's so beautiful to look at? Like, it's just so sumptuous. Like, it's just, it makes your eyes happy.
I think the easy answer, go-to answer, is anything done by Wes Anderson. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Asteroid City. However, and I was really looking forward to it, and I liked the beginning, but then like it just kind of really fell apart, and it felt too Wes Anderson-y, if that makes sense. Yeah. But Asteroid City and all of Wes Anderson's movies look so beautiful. The what do you call it? The not the color palette. I don't know, just the
like the pastels.
I'm blanking on pastel. Yeah, just like all these strong pastel colors. And the way he sets scenes, centers scenes, again, as you mentioned, the foreground, the background, the acting, the costumes, the lighting, everything is so intentional. And so even though I did not like Asteroid City that much, it is one of his more beautiful films. Many of them are just like that. Moonrise Kingdom comes to mind as being really good. The Grand Budapest looks fantastic. He does a lot of miniature work as well in many of his movies. So all of that is really fun. And so if you're gonna put a gun to my head, a Wes Anderson gun to my head, which will look beautiful, I'm sure. Those would be the movies I would go for to just relax, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the scene. So
wonderful.
That's my pick.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else you're watching right now? Because I'm just One Piece all day, all long. I'm going to be with Luffy for Halloween, and that's going to go for a while. That's the current obsession. Anything you're watching?
I really want to watch the new Wolfman. The new Wolfman trailer just dropped, and it looks fantastic. It looks so good. It takes place in modern day times, and again, the trailer just dropped. You may show a little bit right now, but I love that. I think it's coming out in January, so not perfect timing for Halloween season, but it looks very like the wolf looks amazing, the setting looks amazing, the colors, everything looks really good. So I'm looking forward to that one. There's another movie that I wanted to see. I think you reviewed it last week. Oh, the other week, the robots, the
Wild Robot. Yes, the Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot. So the Wild Robot, that's still on my list. Yeah, those are like my top two things that have piqued my interest right now. So the Wild Robot and the Wolfman.
Awesome. So what are you guys watching? What should we review next? Are you going to go to the Coolidge Corner and check out the Tingler?
And get tingled.
And get tingled.
Up your spine.
That doesn't sound right, but yeah. I mean...
It's going to get you.
Yeah, it's going to get you. What Halloween New England movies are, on your go-to list for this time of year? Let us know. Check us out everywhere that podcasts are heard. James, where can they find us?
Everywhere. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, of course, on YouTube. So if you want, and we encourage you to like, follow, subscribe at Hub on Hollywood. And a shout out to our subscribers, because Jamie, we just broke the 250 subscriber count. It may not sound like much, but that's a big deal for us. So thank you for those who are just joining us on the Hub on Hollywood. We will be back each and every week with more news happening in New England, the film industry, the booming film industry here, as well as our thoughts on some of the biggest movies that are coming out and biggest projects like One Piece as well. And and as always, we love highlighting local talent in New England. So if you are a local actor, local director, filmmaker, someone who's in front of the camera, behind the camera, here, union or non-union alike, if you love the film industry and you're doing something about it, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and promote you and talk about some of your work here on the podcast. But Jamie, I think that's everything we hit and that we need to hit. But I think this is a good episode. I think it's a good wrap.
Yeah, we got covered a lot of ground. James, people should go back and check out our Salem last episode, your amazing interview.
Yeah, with Bridget Savage Cole, the director of House of Spoils, the new Blumhouse film. Not filmed in Massachusetts, it was filmed in Budapest, but it looks like it was filmed right here in our backyard. So check that out. But Jamie, great show. Thank you so much for watching. Again, as always, we appreciate it. Like, follow, subscribe. But until then, until next week, I'm James. Bye.